He killed 4 people. Then he opened the refrigerator. He ate melon. He ate 4 cups of ice cream. He drank several bottles of barley tea. He used their computer. He browsed the internet. He tried to book theater tickets. He used the bathroom and didn't flush. He changed his clothes, leaving his own clothes neatly behind. He treated wounds he had received during the attack. He slept. Investigators believe he stayed in the house of the family he had just murdered for up to 10 hours. He left behind his DNA, his fingerprints, his clothing, including a sweatshirt of which only 10 had ever been sold in all of Tokyo, his fanny pack, his handkerchiefs, the fragrance he wore, Drakkar Noir, detected on the fabric. More than 12,500 pieces of evidence. In most murder cases, a single fingerprint is enough. The Miyazawa family was murdered on the night of December 30, 2000, in their home in Setagaya Ward, Tokyo. The killer left behind more evidence than almost any case in Japanese criminal history. He has never been identified. 25 years later, the case is still open. The Miyazawa family lived in the Kamisoshigaya neighborhood of Setagaya Ward in southwestern Tokyo. Mikio Miyazawa was 44 years old. He worked for a marketing company. His wife Yasuko was 41, a homemaker and dedicated mother. Their daughter Nina was 8 years old. Their son Ray was 6. They were, by the accounts of neighbors and family members who spoke to investigators and journalists in the years following the murders, an ordinary family in the specific way that ordinary families in Tokyo's suburban wards tend to be, unremarkable in the best sense of the word, connected to their community, known by their neighbors, raising their children in the quiet residential streets that Setagaya is known for. Their home was near a small park. They had no known enemies. They had no history of involvement in organized crime. They had no apparent reason to be targeted. On the morning of December 31, 2000, New Year's Eve, Yasuko's mother, Haruko, who lived next door, went to check on the family. She found them. Mikio had been stabbed to death. Yasuko had been stabbed to death. 8-year-old Nina had been stabbed to death. 6-year-old Ray had been strangled. The time of death was estimated as the night of December 30th. The house was not ransacked in the way that burglaries leave houses. Nothing of obvious value appeared to have been taken. But it was clear that someone had been there. After the murders. And for a long time after. What investigators found when they processed the Miyazawa home was, by the consistent assessment of every detective and forensic scientist who has spoken publicly about the case, unlike any crime scene they had encountered. Not because it was horrific, though it was. Because of how much the perpetrator had left behind. The refrigerator had been opened and its contents partially consumed. 4 empty ice cream cups were found. Bottles of barley tea had been drunk. A piece of melon was gone. The computer had been used. Browser history showed internet activity after the time of death, websites browsed, and attempted theater ticket booking that was not completed. The bathroom on the upper floor had been used. Feces, unflushed, tested positive for the killer's DNA. Analysis of the contents, which included sesame seeds and string beans, provided information about what the killer had eaten before arriving at the house. Clothing was found, a sweatshirt, a hat, gloves, a fanny pack, handkerchiefs. The sweatshirt was a specific model of which only 10 had been sold in Tokyo. 2 of the handkerchiefs tested positive for a fragrance, Drakkar Noir, a men's cologne that was analyzed and found to be consistent with a specific production run. Blood, the killer's own blood, from wounds sustained during the attack, was found throughout the house. The blood produced DNA. Fingerprints were found. Footprints from the killer's shoes were found. The pattern was identified as a specific brand sold in limited quantities in Japan. Sand from a nearby skate park was found on the killer's clothing, placing him in that park before the murders. More than 12,500 individual pieces of evidence were catalogued. It was the most evidence-rich crime scene in the history of the Tokyo Metropolitan Police. The killer has never been identified. If this history is new to you, subscribe to Unsolved East and hit like. New episodes every week. The investigation into the Miyazawa family murders became one of the largest sustained investigations in Japanese police history. The Tokyo Metropolitan Police dedicated significant resources. At various points, hundreds of officers were working the case. Public appeals were issued repeatedly. A hotline received tens of thousands of tips. Investigators followed leads in Japan and internationally. The DNA profile developed from the evidence at the scene has been refined across 25 years of improving forensic technology. What investigators currently know about the killer from the physical evidence alone is extensive. He was male. Based on the footprint size and physical evidence from the scene, he was estimated to be between 160 and 170 centimeters tall and of average build. The mitochondrial DNA analysis produced a finding that significantly complicated the investigation for a Japanese case. The killer's maternal line appeared to trace to southern Europe, possibly the Iberian Peninsula or Italy. His paternal DNA profile suggested East Asian ancestry. The combination indicated a person of mixed heritage, likely with one parent of East Asian descent and one of Southern European descent, or with ancestors from both backgrounds. In Japan, where the vast majority of the population is ethnically Japanese, a person with this specific genetic heritage would be, statistically, unusual. The finding should have narrowed the field of possible suspects significantly. It did not produce an identification. The clothing evidence provided additional profile information. The sweatshirt, one of 10 sold in Tokyo, was a brand favored by young people with an interest in skateboarding and street culture. The shoes left footprints matching a brand popular in that same community. The sand from the skate park connected him to that specific environment. For 2 decades, investigators believed they were looking for someone between the ages of 15 and 22 at the time of the murders, young, active, connected to skateboarding culture, of mixed heritage, who had been in Setagaya on the night of December 30, 2000. Then, in late 2025, a development. DNA methylation analysis, a technique that examines chemical modifications to DNA to estimate a person's age at the time a sample was deposited, was applied to the evidence from the scene. The result revised the age estimate significantly upward. The killer was estimated to be in his 30s or 40s at the time of the murders, not a teenager or young adult. If accurate, the revised estimate changes the profile substantially. The skateboarding culture connection, the young person profile that had guided 20 years of investigation, these assumptions may need to be reconsidered. The case remains open. The DNA is there. The killer has not been found. The behavior that has made the Setagaya case compelling to criminologists and behavioral analysts for 25 years is the behavior after the murders. Why did he stay? Every professional who has analyzed the case publicly has offered the same honest answer: we don't know. The theories range from psychological disorientation, a killer who had committed a crime of such violence that he was unable to immediately process what had happened and leave, to a specific type of predatory psychology that involves prolonged presence at crime scenes as part of the specific satisfaction the crime provides. Neither explanation is fully satisfying. What the behavior communicates, the ice cream, the computer, the theater tickets, the nap, is a person for whom the house of the family he had just murdered felt, in some specific and inexplicable sense, safe. Safe enough to sleep in. Safe enough to stay for 10 hours. That specific comfort, the killer's comfort in the home of his victims, is the detail that has made the Setagaya case impossible to forget for the criminologists, the investigators, and the public who have followed it for 25 years. The Setagaya murders changed Japanese law. Before the case, Japan had a statute of limitations on murder, a period after which criminal prosecution could no longer be pursued. The Setagaya murders, along with other high-profile unsolved cases, became the focus of public pressure to abolish the limitation for serious crimes. In 2010, Japan eliminated the statute of limitations for crimes that carry the death penalty, including murder. The case will never expire. Wherever the killer is, whatever age the DNA methylation analysis places him at in 2025, the case against him remains active in perpetuity under Japanese law. The Miyazawa house has not been demolished. It stands largely as it was found on the morning of December 31, 2000. The family's belongings remain inside. Flowers and offerings are placed regularly by members of the public at the fence outside. Yasuko's mother Haruko, who found the bodies that New Year's Eve morning, visited the house on the 25th anniversary in December 2025. She has visited every year. She is now in her 80s. The questions that have not been answered in 25 years are specific. Why did he target the Miyazawa family? By every indication, they had no connection to anyone who would want to harm them. The specific reason he entered their house, whether they were selected deliberately or encountered randomly, has never been established. Why did he stay? This question has attracted the most public attention and the most theoretical analysis. No explanation has been verified. Where is he now? The DNA profile exists. If the killer is alive, his DNA is somewhere that can be matched. Every arrest that produces a DNA sample in Japan, and in any country that shares DNA databases internationally, is a potential match. He has not been matched. Does he know he hasn't been caught? A person who killed a family of 4 in Tokyo on December 30, 2000, and left behind 12,500 pieces of evidence, has lived for 25 years knowing, or not knowing, or choosing not to think about, whether the evidence he left was ever matched to him. The evidence from the Miyazawa home is still in the custody of the Tokyo Metropolitan Police. The DNA has not degraded in ways that would prevent identification. The fingerprints are preserved. The clothing, the sweatshirt, the fanny pack, the handkerchiefs with their trace of Drakkar Noir, is catalogued and stored. The 12,500 pieces of evidence that the killer left behind in the house of the family he murdered are waiting for the specific name they belong to. Every year on December 30th, the Tokyo Metropolitan Police issue a public statement about the Setagaya murders. They ask for information. They confirm that the case is active. They confirm that they have not stopped looking. The 2025 DNA methylation analysis revised the age estimate. It did not produce a name. The killer was in the Miyazawa house for up to 10 hours on the night of December 30, 2000. He left 12,500 pieces of evidence. He has been somewhere in the world for 25 years. He has not been matched. Haruko visits the house every year. She was 25 years younger when she found them. She is in her 80s now. The flowers at the fence are always fresh. The evidence inside is still waiting. Somewhere, someone knows what happened in that house. The DNA is there. The answers are not.